Here I'm preparing the armature for my horse sculpture. And here I'm grabbing the horse, very excited. And he's posing for me. I'm always sculpting from life, so I get always inspired and try out, and I see him in different angles. And like this, I always change the pose as well as I'm going along. And I try out in different spots, get different light, different inspiration. And always with my son, very important. And quite windy day, so the clay dries quite quickly, so I have to keep wetting it all the time. And I always turn him so I can see it from all different angles. And I turn the horse as well. And sometimes I have the horse close up, further away, so I get the general perspective from a distance, and then yet also have him really close, so I can study the subtleties of his face and muscles. But I like to have a general roughness. So I make a plaster mold of the horse now, cut off the legs and the body and do it in separate pieces, otherwise it's too delicate to do it in one. And I pour the plaster onto the horse, which takes the exact imprint of my sculpture. And then I pull it apart, and I have several pieces of the plaster, and I clean it, take the clay out and clean the plaster really thoroughly so there isn't anything remaining. And then I have to soap it really thoroughly so the plaster doesn't attach onto the plaster when I pour the plaster into the mold. Here's my wonderful bird that eats all the poisonous snakes, so it keeps me safe while I sculpt her. Probably I'll sculpt her next. And here I put all the pieces back together before pouring it. So I tape it really shut so nothing escapes, and then I pour the plaster into it and into the legs, and then I leave it set and dry, and then I chip it out very diligently. You have to be very careful so I don't break any pieces off. And then voila, then I bring the plaster to my foundry in Geneva. And then once I'm in Geneva, I make another mold, a silicone mold, in order to have it made in wax and then have it finally poured in bronze, which is called the lost wax process. Once the silicone is done, I heat up the wax and I put everything back together, and I pour the wax into the silicone mold several times, so I have a nice even thin layer all the way around. Wax is the final stage before it gets poured in bronze, and all the adjustments I make will come out exactly in bronze. So it's a very exciting stage. When I finish with the wax, I give it to the foundry and they pour it in bronze. So when the bronze comes out, there are quite a few imperfections, and I'd rather deal with it myself than the founder, since I know the piece. patina is what gives the color to the horse, and it's done through heat and different strengths of acid.